Hello and welcome back to Just Code It. Today we're going to be taking a look at LangGraph, specifically how to use tools and create tools and interact with tools in LangGraph. We're going to create 5 tools. The first one is just a simple tool that we're going to simulate a API request. Next, we're going to do some file operations. After that, we're going to use YFinance to get some stock data. Then we're going to create a math tool to interact with that stock data. And finally, we're going to interact with the SQL database. Let's just get right into it though. We have quite a few imports here. One thing that's different about this is we're going to use Chat LLM or Light LLM just for fun. You could use Chat Llama if you want to, but Light LLM allows you to interact with all the different providers within a single package. Then we just load our API keys, define a model name. This is just how it's defined in Light LLM. And then we do open router, and then the model name, or you could just do a simple string. Then the endpoint for the model name and the API key for the open router API key. Coming down here to example 1, we're going to create a tool with that declarator tool and then define a method which is going to be get weather. Like before, we need these tools to have a good description so the LLM knows what the tool is used for, and then we want to define our arguments where we're just going to define location as city. This is just some mock weather data, and then we're going to return the weather data with a JSON dump string. We're going to dump it as a string that returns back neatly. Just to run this, actually, we got to run up here first. That loads everything in. This will create our tool, and this will run it. Okay, after that, we have number 2, which is the save note. Here we have another tool which is going to save a note to the folder. You can imagine this being a tool that can save a report or save the output of a chat, things like that. To do this, we do, again, a description and describe our input variables. Then we create a try except, and we pass in the file path, which is a variable. We make directory notes. If it does not exist, then we write the file using saved note, and then we're going to give it the date and then write some formatting and the content of the note. Finally, we're just going to return that we saved correctly, or if it hits the accept, then we return an error and then pass the exception. Let's run that. Now let's create an example. Here's an example where we're just going to create another agent 2, and then we're just going to invoke and give it a message with a role user, and then content is going to be save a note called shopping list, and then giving it some list items and print it. Let's see if that note was actually created. Yep, it looks like shopping list was created. Let's go back to this. Here we have it, file created, and gives us some information. Up next is using YFinance to get stock data. How we're going to do that, if you've never used YFinance, is we do import YFinance as YF ticker. Then we're going to convert it to all uppercase just to do some sanity checking, and we're going to get the stock info. From that info, we're going to get current price, previous price, market cap, long name, just some calculations to calculate the change in the price. Finally, we're going to construct a JSON object with the stock data, with ticker company, current price, change, market cap, and timestamp. And again, return it as a JSON string with an indent of 2. If that fails though, and for some reason it doesn't work, we're going to do import error, not installed, and then exception E for kind of the catch-all. Let's check 2 examples of this. The first one, we're just going to do role user, what is the current price of Apple? And we're going to see if it can get the ticker. So here it's going to need to figure out that Apple's ticker is APPL. Oh, I'm an idiot. We need to run this top section. And then we can, yep, it is able to identify Apple and then get the actual ticker for it, which is APPL. This should probably work for most of the popular stocks, but it's better just to pass the ticker in. Next, we're going to get the data and then essentially save it to a file using two tools at once. I forgot to mention this. We're passing the tools that we're giving our agent. Our agent here is getting stock price, weather, and save note. Execute it. Here is that tool. We have it saved. Moving on. Now we're just going to create some simple tools to add and multiply. For example, we're going to create some math tools, just some simple ones, add number and multiply number. Very simple, but how we're going to use this is going to be a bit interesting. The first way we're going to use this is just doing a very simple 20 and 20, add 10 and 20, and then multiply by 2. 60 should be the result. And again, I forgot to run the top. Yep, that was correct. Now we're going to do something a bit more complex where we're going to get the stock information. We're going to get 50 shares of Tesla and then 30 shares of Apple and calculate the total portfolio. Here, we're going to use both the get stock price, add number, and multiply number. The agent is going to need to know first, I need to go get the stock price, then multiply numbers for the stock price of each individual stock times the number of shares, then add them all together at the end to get the total portfolio value down here. You could also create another method that takes away this guesswork here and just does calculate stock value or something like that, which doesn't have the LLM call these multiple tools. That is it, how you can chain inputs and outputs of different tools in order to make more complex agents. The last tool we're going to create is this query database. If you go to the utils, in this utils, I just create some mock data. This is essentially employees in a company, and this is name, department, salary, then hire date. Using that, we're then going to create a tool called Query Database. The interesting thing about tools like this is they can be way more general. It can be more general than just add entry or add row. It can just be query and have the LLM actually write the query to perform. What we're doing is doing a try except. Then we're just going to do a security check, just making sure it starts with select. Grab our database, which is companies.db, add the cursor, and then from that cursor point, we're then going to write out our query, which is going to be given to us by the LLM. After that, we're going to get the column names and just define it as columns in here to return. The results are going to be fetch all, and then we're going to close the connection. Finally, we're going to just format the results. We can send it back. Then we're just going to do a JSON object with JSON dumps as a string and send back the query, the result, and the count formatted result. The count is just going to be the number of columns and rows. After that, we're then just going to create another JSON string with query, result, and then count, which is the length of the formatted results. Again, indent 2. Then finally, that exception for if there's an error with the database. The first example we're going to do is count the number of rows. This is a pretty up, and it's going to error again. There we have it. There are 28 company employees. The reason that there's 28 is because I ran the utils a few times. There's some duplicates in there. Now we're going to find all the employees in the engineering department with a salary over 90,000. And here it is. We get a list of them all. Last of all, we're going to do what is the average salary for each department for the employees. That is it for today, looking at LangChain tools. If you have any other tool examples that you would like to discuss, please comment down below and I can help you out with them. Up next, I think we're going to actually put this all together into a cool little app, a little chatbot that has a few tools and allows you to really leverage the YFinance to get a bunch of information from stocks and create a little stock agent using Chainlit, which is like a Streamlit alternative, which allows you to actually make chatbots even quicker than Streamlit. It's specifically for chatbots. I've been learning it and I thought you guys might like to learn it as well. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.